Hello everyone. Today we will talk about preventing no-shows at your appointments. I am Ileana and I am here with Vlad.
Hi, everybody. No shows. This is a subject that we ourselves sometimes discuss internally. How could we prevent this from happening? And we have found a few little tweaks to the system, to the process that have have proven to be quite beneficial for our users, for other agents and agencies, and we wanted to share that with you.
Yes, very
So
well
some
with Vlad.
Some of the first steps that one needs to do in order to even have an appointment scheduled. So, what is to have a calendar linked in with Automate? Is that correct?
Yes, this is true. So you can connect your Google Calendar or your Outlook calendar. It is easy. We have videos about that, or we can assist you in a call. There is no problem. And then after you have connected your calendar, um, you can actually create a team calendar is what we call it, but it could be a team of just one person. It is essentially a booking widget. You can customize it the way you want based on your availability, enable the options you like, and just share the link with your customers, and they can start booking appointments, and you will get the confirmation that someone has scheduled on your calendar immediately if you have this option enabled, of course.
Let me ask you
It is
something
super easy.
that you
Mhm.
mentioned, Liliana, real quick. I'm seeing here we have individual calendars. So each one of the agents in an agency can have his or her own calendar, correct?
Sure.
And that person can set up its own availability. If that person is a part-time or maybe a full-time employee, then obviously the availability changes. But scroll
Exactly.
a little bit, show me what about the team calendars? Now that's an interesting one because we have some of that as well. And when it is more than one person, then what happens? How do we decide which person gets assigned to the appointment?
Well, that is a very good question, Vlad. Let me open one of these calendars and I can show you that you can actually choose and assign priority to the different team members. And the rest is based on what is called round robin scheduling. So the system will check for the availability of each member, the priority, and then it will just assign, if not to the first person, then to the second, and just go round and round, if this makes any sense. Or you can choose also to optimize for equal distribution between members.
So I'm seeing here an integration also with Zoom because that's what we are using. But people could be using a different software as well, right? That could be Google
Sure.
Meet or what else could that be? I think I've heard of
A custom link.
custom link of some sort, or maybe Teams by Microsoft as well. Is quite popular. People are using that as well.
It
So
is
this is how
possible.
the
Long,
team calendar works, right? This is where one sets up individual availability plus puts it into a group of a team, and that could be for a team or maybe per subject. I have seen this, by the way, in some agencies. They like to do it that way. For example, they have a calendar for all of those that are servicing a specific type of business.
true.
Let's say business owners or homeowners or transportation or something of that nature. So they may not work necessarily in the same team. They might be in the calendar because of a certain subject.
Yeah, it could
So,
also depend on, for example, I have seen this in a few agencies. They create different calendars under the team that say, for example, an online meeting or a phone call, which would be just talking on the phone, or a meeting in person. And so they sent the link that actually shows you those team calendars under the team in widgets that you can select. For example, you want to meet them in person, you click on this calendar, so you book an appointment for an in-person meeting.
mhm. Wonderful. That's great. So, couple of things to mention now that we know that all of those are available. So, you can have your own meeting room. You can have your team. You can have individual calendars, however you want it to be, and all of that gets synced with your Google or Outlook or whatever primary calendar you have. That's great. Now, what happens when the subject of this uh, uh, newsletter or video is how do we prevent people from not showing up to our appointments? We have to remind them in one way or another, right? We have to
Mhm.
have some sort of automation behind it that is reminding them as soon as they have booked an appointment, 48, 24 hours before, 30 minutes before, and so on and so forth, right?
Exactly.
How does that work? Yeah. One of the one of the things that I have noticed is the content within the email that we're sending as a confirmation is quite important. And I think one of the very important bits of it is down on the bottom where it says to reschedule, click here. Now, this is really important because people may realize that the time they have booked is no longer convenient for them. And instead of simply not showing up for the appointment, giving them the opportunity and the easiness of simply clicking on a link and rescheduling, we found that to be quite valuable. So please remember, we can set that for you, for anybody. We can show you how this is done. It's very easy. Having the reschedule link is quite an important bit of keeping people showing up to your appointments. I have done it. Everybody has done it. Booked an appointment with someone. Later on, realized, well, I actually that's not very convenient for me, but I don't really want to tell that person. Don't want the confrontational conversation. Well, you're avoiding all of that by simply giving them the reschedule link right in the email confirmation. That's great. So what happens here? Walk me through this particular workflow. This is the very first email that they're receiving, right? This is the thank you for your appointment, this and that, whatever the words are, and you're giving them both the time, date, and time. You're giving them the location. That would be your Zoom or maybe your Google Meet or whatever software you're using, and as well as the ability to reschedule.
Exactly. And
Let's
as you mentioned, all of these are important. So at least confirming the appointment lets the customer know that the booking was successful, so they wouldn't move on to somebody else. They know they already have a meeting with you. And
yeah.
as you explained, if they have the reschedule link, they don't have to go anywhere else. You're giving them all the options with you. Uh, and
Then to
yeah,
show me something else that I found that to be quite interesting. Can you scroll up just a moment, a little bit up
sure.
higher, just a little bit, and the SMS as well, because email is great, but not everybody's checking their email all the time. And we've what we found to be extremely valuable is to couple the email with an SMS. Everybody has their phone with them all the time, no question about that. Having that SMS has made a tremendous difference to many of our agencies. This is a really big deal. It doesn't cost you anything to just add one more step in your workflow, and that is an SMS reminder. I believe it's very important. And once again, don't forget reschedule link. I can see it here on the bottom line. The reschedule link is available. They're receiving an email. They're receiving an SMS right at the time of the confirmation, and the reschedule link is available as well. I believe that is a really important and quite beneficial aspect of keeping people um, showing up to your appointments. And then what happens? So this is the confirmation. Then what happens?
Well, after the confirmation, we shouldn't forget to build a chain, so to say, of reminders leading up to the appointment. These reminders could be as frequent as you want. For example, hours, as you mentioned, are 24 hours before the appointment and 30 minutes prior to it. But you can send them more often or at different time intervals. It all depends on the preference you have. And of course, in the reminder as well as in the confirmation, we're mentioning those same things that you stressed upon. And again, the SMS carries more weight, which I experienced recently when I missed an important email about a rescheduled meeting. So if I had the SMS, that would have been great.
So with all of that, that is something that is going out to the person who booked an appointment with the agency. Is that right?
Mm-hmm.
But along with it, one can have it set up so that internal notifications are sent, whether that be via email or maybe SMS. Internal notifications are just as important. We're all human, and not only that our customers may not remember to show up, but we may actually uh, get sidetracked with something else. And that internal notification is very, very important as well.
Yes, I agree
So
with you.
internal notification via email, via SMS, external notification to the user as often as you need. What we found to be great, that works quite well, is initial confirmation, 24 hours, and an SMS. What I have seen is agencies going, um, obviously, initial appointment confirmation, then next day, day after, and every single day until the appointment, they're sending email and SMS. That also works. Some people think this is little too much. I personally don't think so. Depending on the type of confirmation we're looking for, right? If someone has scheduled an appointment in a month from now, then sending them daily reminders that they have an appointment in a month from now, that's probably too much. But if your appointments are mostly within the next few days, that works. I don't think that there's anything wrong with it. So agencies are doing this as well. I have seen it every single day at certain time, email and SMS, especially when the appointment is booked within the next few days. That ensures the person on the other end will more likely would be showing up to your appointment. I have also seen quite a few agents and agencies schedule multiple SMSs and emails on the day of. So hours are only 1 hour or 30 minutes, I'm sorry, 30 minutes prior. But that doesn't necessarily have to be that way. It can be 2 hours, then 1 hour, then 30 minutes. That is also an option, right?
Yes, everything is an option actually. You can select how much time before the appointment you want the email or SMS to be sent, and we can set it up.
All right, Lenka. Well, one more thing that people are concerned with, and that has to do with, okay, all of that is great, but it requires some technical knowledge on setting up the automation, setting up the calendars, linking them, and all of that. What do we have to tell those that don't have the technical expertise or the time to do this? What message do we want to convey there?
Well, personally and as a team, we don't want you to be afraid of this. You just need to tell us what you want, just verbalize it, and we will do it for you. As long as we have your input, your preferences, we can present you with the working model of the automation you want.
All right, well, that's pretty much the final message, everybody. This is how we found appointment confirmations to be quite successful, having email, SMS, as well as the link for rescheduling. And don't forget, Automate is the only CRM that comes with dedicated support. We are more than happy, more than willing, and eager to help you. If you need anything, just contact us. Links will be on the description of this video below. Drop a like or comment if you wish. Thank you so much for your time.